All right, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, we are here today to go ahead and deliver the MK1 top-end General Shao beginner guide. I noticed that there was a lack of that kind of content, so I will be filling in the gaps, so to speak. So we're not going to spend too much time on it. My goal is for this to be a pretty quick, just like I said, an intro, a beginner introductory guide to the character. But with that, we are hoping that we are able to open up kind of the Shao player base. I noticed I just haven't seen a lot of players kind of sticking to him, which is crazy because he's very strong. He has good kit, especially in the game of MK1. He's got stuff that you would like to have working for you. Got a few things. So with that being said, we're going to start right down the line with his notable normals. Obviously in MK1, at least as of the pre-launch build, you are not able to tag moves, but we're just going to point out some of his key moves, some of his notable normals, if you will. This is going to blend in a little bit with his power strings, of which he has quite a few, but we're going to start ahead with his jab string, which is okay. It's a 7-frame jab. The range is not insane. There's nothing crazy going on with the range. This is really not a major tool for him. Obviously his down one as well, pretty generic, down one, just basically down one. He does have a very strong down 3 as far as down pokes go. Down 3 and down 4 are both about the same range, but down 4 is a little bit slower. Down 4 has a smidge more range, just like a little bit more range on the down 4, but in general, if you're looking for a strong low poke, his down 3 is definitely going to be the way to go. Other major notable normals, his mid is back 1 at 14 frames. This back 1 right here is his only real mid, and as you can see, the range is actually not that bad. I was pretty surprised by this range. So he can hit you at a little bit inside of round start. He can hit you with this back 1, which has a canned follow-up, so you cannot get any major conversions. I mean, obviously you can always convert, but it's not going to be a strong combo starter. This is definitely his check tool, though. This and then the back 3 that is also a low, but has a little bit slower startup at 20 frames. This back 3 these are his kind of neutral, control, and check tools. You have to block both of these. You cannot avoid them like you can his stand 2, which for my money is his best tool. It's got almost just a little bit less range than that back 1, but you can control so much space with it, and then as well, it's plus. It's neutral to +1 on block. So depending on the spacing, it can be either +1 or neutral on block, which means if you do it, the next thing you do will come out at the same time as the next thing your opponent does. So if you, for instance, get them to block a stand 2 right here, right, you can reach them with your down 4 or your down 3 in this instance. Your down 4 have, like I said, that little bit extra range to give you the clip. So stand 2 into down 4. That's I wouldn't say it's guaranteed, but he low profiles and can control space better. Obviously, if sub tries to down 1 here, his down 1 is not going to hit. We can see, actually it will. Sub has a pretty notable down 1 though. He sticks that extra little spike out, so sub's maybe a bit of an outlier with the down 1. But that being said, Brother Shao definitely has a pretty strong set of notable normals, and then that as well ties into his power strings. Like we said, the follow-up to this back 1 is back 1-2, which is not bad. It's safe on block at -6. Safe on block, so it's decent, but some characters can punish this with a down 1. Now, of course, due to the frame buffer on MK, it's more difficult, but it is still possible if you have frame perfect timing. In general, you don't really want to be finishing this string. You really don't want to finish most of his strings. Forward 1 is this a bit longer than his stand 2 high. Just a smidge longer, but I think that for my money, I prefer stand 2. I just am a fan of what I call Joker normals. So Joker in MK11 had a stand 2 that was a really strong move, just because it allowed him to quickly, this is an 8-frame attack, so it's 2 frames faster and with a little bit better range for my money. Yeah, better range than forward 1. But it allows him to poke at ranges where most characters can struggle to poke, right? You see most of my down pokes are missing, but my stand 2 will go ahead and hit at ranges that my down 1 might not. and my down 4. So definitely stand 2 is stand 2-2 is a very strong string for him because it allows him to get most of his combo game going. You're going to get a lot of your combos from stand 2-2, which is a -7, so it's just barely unsafe. All they can get is a down jab though, which is not anything crazy. Because again, the frame buffer is not going to allow anyone to come out with a standing punish. Speaking of standing punishes at 7 frames, the stand 1-2 high mid string, really quick, 2-2 is high mid as well, and forward 1-2 is high mid as well. So most of his strings, you'll note that Shao really does not have a ton of amazing mids except for this back 1 to work with. Now obviously if you have your spacing, the back 1 is a lot better for your money. Back 1 into stand 2 kind of things, because you'll be outside of the range of most characters' jab. But in general, stand 2 is just such a strong poke that it's going to allow you to really move the game in your way, or enact kind of your game plan. So specifically the lack of a really notable decent speed mid means that you're going to come pretty heavily to depend on his stand 2, right? It being as fast as it is at 8 frames, which is insanely fast. Just for me to emphasize that point, it's really fast for the range that it has. But his lack of a fast mid means that you can't set yourself up. So at -3, you'll always lose if you go for back 2 or back 1, which is what I was thinking of. Back 2, of course, being his final notable normal. That is his combo starter. All of his damage comes from back 2. So at any point you want, at any point you can, you definitely want to land this back 2. It is just money. It is plus on block. It is +3 on block, which means that if I press a button and my friend Sub-Zero presses a button at the same time, he's going to lose. So if I set him to go ahead and do a reversal, just have him do some kind of get a reversal here, and his reversal will just be just a slide, just a simple reversal. So if I make him block this, which I have to set him to block for that to work, if I make him block my back 2, he gets below it, but if I make him block again, and I use the correct poke, my down 3 will beat out his slide just because I'm plus on block here. So he always loses because I have ways to control that space with a button. It also makes this an 11 frame mid, which is pretty good. So that he can actually get some power out of his power mid, because it becomes 11 frame mid, which is decent frame data for a mid in this game. So overall, back 2 is very strong, stand 2 is very strong, and your jab string is decent, not amazing. Let's go ahead and turn that reversal off. Okay, so his notable normals are pretty much covered. With that being said, and his power strings as well, stand 2-2, back 1, and stand 1-2 are most of his power strings. Now he does have this mix-up here. We have this forward 2 overhead, which has a canned follow-up. We'll go ahead and have him let go of block, dear friend. Okay, so forward 2 has a canned follow-up, which is about 15%, depending on your Kameo, which we'll take some time and talk Kameo synergy here in just a bit. But depending on your Kameo, you do have options to combo out after forward 2. If you do not have a Kameo with a teleport, though, or some way to interrupt his string, you will not be able to get anything other than the canned follow-up, which is about 15%. So it's not bad, 152 damage. It's not a bad overhead by any means by itself, but it really opens up when he has Kameos in order to enable his pretty bonkers combo damage, as you can see. Alright, I'm not going to finish it because we'll get into that here in just a moment, but he does have very strong combo damage. That's one of the major strengths of the character. So having a Kameo that allows him to enhance his combo damage off of this, which is actually a 50-50. So if you look down here in the bottom left of the screen, you see the startup for this move is 20 frames, and then the startup for this move is 20 frames as well. This means that because they hit on the same frame, if I am standing here in the neutral and I go for one or the other, you truly have to guess. It's just past the point of human reactability, but 20 frames is still quite a tight reaction for most humans. So with that being said, if I am on top of you and I'm pressuring, and I'm pressing my buttons, getting my game plan going, I will have a very advanced, I shouldn't say advanced, but a very strong mix-up game just by nature of this or this. So this move, this low back three, does actually naturally allow you to combo, but the overhead, as we said, only has the can follow up by itself for Shao. There's no way to confirm this. So, for example, you could do something like this into a Kameo assist, which allows for a follow-up combo. The forward two, unfortunately, does not allow you to get follow-ups in and of itself. Speaking of Kameo, so Shao is a pretty, I would say, not every character in the game to some degree or another depends on cameos because they've been built into the game, but Shao is a pretty solid character with or without cameos. He has a couple of weaknesses that certain cameos can cover very well, but he also has a strong enough game plan that for the most part, with one notable exception, he can stand on his own. But as far as cameos that are particularly strong with Shao, Sonya Blade, I think, is probably, me personally, I think she's my favorite. She comes with the damage buff, or the health buff, I should say. So if you'll note in the top right corner of my life bar here, right where I'm jumping, my health is at 1100 because I have Sonya Kameo. She actually gives you bonus health for using her. So that's definitely something worth noting. Shao being a big-bodied character, it's always good to have a little bit more hit power. She has her ambush assist. So in this game, there are ambush assists and there are summon assists. So ambushes allow me not to move, so I can be doing something and my ambush can come out. Summon assists, I have to stop doing what I'm doing and call the assist before I can actually get it to enable. So that means that for certain things like this, that will come out, but the other Kameo will not. If you look, you can see I'm pressing for my Kameo call, but it comes out after I'm done doing the hit. So with Sonya being a ambush Kameo, at least this square wave attack, that opens up a lot of combo potential for Shao, but she also has a couple other pieces of kit that are pretty useful for him. So obviously Sonya does not have a teleport or any way to help Shao confirm out of the forward two, but she does offer, in addition to this Kameo, or in addition to the square wave call, she has a couple different options that allow Shao to enhance his combo game, and that combo can go up to about 32 to 33%. In general, though, her square wave assist allows for a wide variety of Shao combos to take place. And there's a couple of ways you can play that in, but it is very much a strong assist for Shao, and then I guess not to bury the lead, so to speak, but she does have the classic onion rings, which are very good because Shao has this and this alone as his full screen projectile. So his full screen presence is very weak. This is a 40 frame startup move. That's 2/3 of a second that it takes to start up. Any character in the game with any kind of zoning whatsoever has many options to beat that. That's 39. Ice Ball's 39. If we trade in that instance, Sub-Zero gets a full combo, and Shao gets a minor knockdown and a little bit of damage. Not to mention things like Deadly Vapors. There's lots of different options that you can use to beat Shao at full screen. And that's without factoring in opposing cameos that you may see. So some other good cameos for Shao are definitely going to be really quick before we leave Sonya. One thing to note is that she can charge her onion rings. So if you do charge the attack, he's allowed to move before she is complete actually using it. It does cost a bit more meter. It actually costs a full bar of Kameo meter, but it does recharge fairly quickly when you use the charge assist. However, when you use it, you can use it to enforce more pressure and do things like potentially get combos there. I'll have to spend some more time in the lab to confirm if that's possible, though I don't think so, unless you have frame perfect timing of the forward two. That being said, Sonya is, I think, a very strong assist for Shao just because she opens up his combo game that is already quite robust with her square wave attack, allowing him to get confirms he might not otherwise be able to get. So, Other cameos that I think are particularly strong, we're going to show them. We're not going to actually detail them here in this guide. We will spend some more time on cameo synergies in the upcoming advanced guide for Shao Kahn. Again, this is just a beginner guide, so we're just going to point to the names of some of the valuable cameos for Shao before getting back into it. As from my experience, I think that Motaro, who I do not have unlocked as of yet, is a custom-built cameo for Shao. He has a faster fatal blow, which Shao very much struggles with. He has the teleport that enables Shao to get those overhead forward 2 combos, and then he has strong options to counter zoning, which again is a very notable weakness of Shao's. Sub-Zero as well for the same reason, just by having a counter zoning option, as well as an advancing mid to allow Shao to continue his combo strings. Scorpion is a very strong cameo in general, though he doesn't have any particular synergies with Shao Kahn aside from basic combo extensions. Shao does not really want to be pulled out of the action. He very much wants to be in your face, applying that back to and getting those plus frames. Serena is the talk of the town right now as far as cameos can go, just because she has a very strong back cameo attack, which allows for 4 basically projectiles to hit, which gives characters insane standing combo damage. The same applies to Shao, as well as her having 2 different projectiles, which is very good again because of its limited zoning game. Kano, same reason, got 2 projectiles and it's actually an ambush assist. So in general, Shao does not have any really bad cameo options, but cameos with what you want to look for as you're building your team for this game are either these 2 lovely gentlemen who are cameos with teleports, Motaro and Kung Lao both have teleports, which allow Shao to combo a forward 2, and any character that has some kind of option to counter zoning or give back a strong zoning game to Shao is going to open up his game plan very much. Like I said, we're going to stick with Sonya today, but we will do a much more detailed breakdown. I think we'll go cameo for cameo in the advanced guide, as well as showing off some of the combos that you can put together with the different cameos. So now we're here for my favorite section of the game, or of the guide, I should say, which is our BnB, our bread and butter combos. So Shao has quite a few different ways to begin combos. 1-1 or 1-2, 2-2, back 2, back 1 can actually begin a combo by itself. Really any straight hit aside from forward 2 can begin a combo. However, there are a couple starters that you have that are more efficient for combo starting than others. Forward 1 is probably, in my opinion, one of Shao's worst moves. It's a high with pretty stubby range, especially compared to stand 2, as well as being slower. It is a natural hitting launcher. So if you do, it is forward 1-2-2. You do get a minor launch, but it's a tricky launch for Shao to convert off of. Actually, it's not. You can actually convert just fine after that. And get launches there. So it's not too bad for Shao. It is generally going to cost you a bar or a cameo to convert off of, unlike back 2, which you can convert off of for free. So if you do back 2, jump 2, 1-2, or stand 2-2, there are lots of different ways to get your combos going with Shao. I want to spend more time on the BnB section, focusing on combo identity or combo kind of structure, as opposed to the specific combos to go for, though I will show my favorite, which I think is what I would consider his BnB, his bread and butter combo. There are many different ways, like I said, to get a combo started, but you'll notice that all of them end up in this knee. Now, this knee is particularly interesting because it is a reversal. It is Shao's armored move if you spend the meter on it. So, by virtue of that, it is in fact his armored launcher. They have brought armored launchers back for MK1 from the grave, in which they were stuck after MK10. So, Shao having an armored launcher is good because it means that, of course, if he were to get knocked down, he could wake up with the EX knee and use it to confirm combos as well as getting out of pressure. So once you have gotten your combo going, once you have used your EX knee, you have the opportunity to cancel into this overhead axe slam. Now, this is a move he can do in the neutral, this overhead axe slam. But if you do it to an airborne opponent, it will actually pop them up and allow you to combo out. So, by virtue of doing the knee into the axe slam, it pops them up because you spent the meter on the knee. And it also, which just for those who are curious about the timing for the amplify, it is a simultaneous button press, as between the 3 button and the block button. But by virtue of having this armored reversal, this armored launching reversal, he's able to get combos pretty much at any time that are going to do a lot of damage intrinsically, especially because he has that ender. So that was just the reversal itself. Just the knee itself led to 29 damage for spending 1 bar of meter. So that hopefully gives you an idea of the kind of thing that Shao is capable of. There are a couple of notes I want people to bear in mind as they're looking to combo. So his most damaging combo routes actually involve using this back 2 very liberally. It is a quite good, quite a good launcher. Of course, by being plus on block, it allows him to combo out, but it also allows him to use his, what I would consider fairly strong air combo. Any air combo that leads to a bounce, that ends in a bounce for the character, I think is generally pretty strong because it allows you to recombo with not just one, but rather many different cameos can recombo after a bounce from an air combo. So that's why I prefer Sonya. I think hers, again, is just the easiest. It gives him the easiest extensions, it covers his zoning weakness, and it gives him just a smidge more combo damage because, you know, who doesn't need more damage for a character that has a bread and butter combo with 42% damage. So for your combos, generally it's best to start with the back 2 just because it scales the best, which is to say that each subsequent hit in the combo is going to do more damage than other starters, potentially like stand 1, 2, or a stand 4 starter or anything like that. But you can in fact confirm, again, almost any stray hit with Shao. If the move is special cancelable, you can probably confirm it into that knee. It is very forgiving, is one thing I'm noting as we're doing this guide together. So, with that having been said, let me make sure that there's not anything that I'm missing. 2, 2, 4. Oh, that's an axe down move. 2, 2, 4. There you go. Fantastic. So, with that having been said, Shao wants to get any stray hit and then convert into the enhanced axe slam after the knee. The enhanced knee, I should say, into axe slam is how he gets his combo game going. So again, if we're using those principles, and then rather I should say once we've ended our combo and gotten the axe slam, you're either going, depending on your combo scaling, your gravity scaling, which is when the character falls faster the more hits they've taken in the air. Depending on your gravity scaling, you're either going to do 2 hits into the grab. This is an air grab that he has that allows him to put people back onto the axe, as you saw. Or you're going to do 1 hit into the grab if they are highly scaled and are falling faster than you can react to. So, taking all of our principles, starting with our back 2, ending in or advancing into the EX knee, ending with the hammer slam, and then comboing out from there with a little bit of Kameo spice sprinkled in. This is how we build our BnB combo with shaokhan. And we messed it up. But even of note, even after messing up the combo, because the the grounded options that we have are different than his standard axe and hand options. Obviously, back 2 looks different with and without the axe. Same idea, but different execution. Even in messing up the combo, we got 36% on the opposing character. Let's see if we can correct it and get the full damage. There you go. So noting, right, this ender that we just used for Shao Kahn is not his only ender, but it is absolutely what I would consider his optimal combo ender, which is to say that any chance you have to end a combo with that sequence, again, it's the hammer slam into this advancing high, if you just press stand 2, this advancing high into that grab, which can be accessed by down forward 2. If you have any way to set that particular combo up, I should say axe slam, but if you have any way to set that combo up, that is how you're going to want to end your combos almost 99% of the time. There are very few other enders that you may want to use. However, there are a couple because he does have access to one special move in no axe stance. So using another launcher that we have, which is our stand 1-2 string, we see it has that minor pop-up. You're actually able to solo convert that string using a couple of different buttons, but my favorite is stand 2-2. Into this. And again, it drops just because our gravity scaling is going up, as well as Shaokhan is actually weaker depending, or stronger, depending on his distance from the axe. So when he is too far from the axe, certain moves do not come out. I don't know if you're able to see our input history on the left side of the screen, but the axe grab, that is our major combo ender, this move right here, does not actually come out if you are too far from the axe as you have put it down. So when you're doing other combos, you note that his major combo extender, the stand 2-2 string, advances him further from the axe, which can be useful, but can also be problematic depending on how far you are. So we'll try one more time and see if we can optimize using what we've learned about different starters and actually applying it to get some kind of a different ended combo. Try one more time and give it one last shot. The timing is a little finicky and we dropped it, but that's okay, because again, my point is that it's suboptimal anyway to go for any ender but the I guess we would call it the prescribed ender. So once we've done our axe slam, grabbing them and putting them back onto the axe, even in one hit we're doing 26 damage off of a paltry conversion, just beginning with the actual enhanced air knee. So overall, I think Shao Kahn is a pretty powerful character. Stands. His general game plan consists of using his more powerful, longer range moves, of which his range is not outstanding, to be honest, in this game. He does have moves that have longer range than other moves, right? But his range, especially considering the weapon that he wields, is truly not fantastic, with maybe a notable exception for this stand 2, which has pretty phenomenal range. For a move, again, the speed is really what defines this move, combined with the range. For a move that comes out as the third fastest option in the game, it's not bad for how far that it hits you. This is, again, a step inside of round start, and you're going to go ahead and get your hit with a stand 2, like a little bit inside, one proper step inside of round start. So you're going to use your longer pokes, your back 1, your stand 2, and of course your plus on block back 2 to enforce your 50-50, especially because, again, once your opponent has blocked and once you've gotten them in the habit of blocking, because you're able to very easily confirm the advancing mid, which does have fairly good range. I do want to compliment the range of this move, hitting from just about round start. That move actually does hit from round start. You can hit from quite far with this move, even a little bit outside of round start. But with the power of this back 2 pretty much alone, this move does a lot of heavy lifting for this character. As you can see, it has great pushback on block. He took almost 4 steps back there. And of course it's plus, which means that your jab, or more likely your stand 2, is going to be the first move to the finish. Now, one thing to note, when you're using your back 2 and your stand 2 to enforce your pressure, be mindful to sometimes mix it up and throw in a down 3 or a down 1, just because your opponent, if they should choose to down 1, a character like Sub-Zero especially, will actually be able to not only evade the stand 2 attack, but also hit you out of your attack that you're going for. So they'll actually be advantaged when it's all said and done, which is of course not what we want. So, by virtue of using his strong ranged plus on block moves and his immense combo potential, I'm very convinced that the 42% combo that we showed off here earlier, this combo here, although having fantastic screen carry, although having all the things you could want in a combo, it is just the tip of the iceberg for his game plan. It brings you fully to the corner and allows him to actually enforce this back 2 some more, which in the corner, this back 2 is even scarier. You can get, I believe, 5 hits on it, or 4 hits and then a 2-2. There's some pretty disgusting things he can do once he's got the opponent cornered. But by using these large bully-style moves, you basically bully your way in, convince your opponent to block, or I should say condition your opponent to block, using your plus frames, using your strong overheads, of course mixing in some generic throws, of which again Sonya actually has the highest damage throw in the game, of note. But using these generic tools, you're able to enforce your will as the general of Outworld. Overall, he does have a very fun and I think appealing game plan, and especially just by virtue of his insane combo potential, he's allowed to play the game at his own pace, more or less, although he does have obviously some notable weaknesses. His full screen presence is very weak, among the worst in the game at present. But that is the beauty of the Kameo system that allows you to supplement your weaknesses, in which there are lots of different ways to do so. His up-close game involves very much a mix of his pretty tricky toolkit. It's not all the most, I would say, oppressive pressure in the game by any stretch, right? He's minus here, -3. But he does have the tools, for sure, to get the job done. So, as you go on your adventures, dear viewer of this guide, thank you for tuning in. Have fun and keep Outworld in check.